the kingdom that was prepared for you. That's their reward. I mean, listen, man, you can't inherit more than God. You can't inherit more than God. The joy that you inherit is not your own joy. You inherit the exact same joy that God has on the inside of Him. Now, you think there's going to be people that are more joyful than God? No. So how am I going to have more joy than the next guy if the joy that everybody has is the joy of the Lord? It just can't be that way, man. It's crooked. It's worldly thinking. And we don't despise people who think that way, nor do we think that they're malicious just because they think that way. Right? But for judgment, where the Spirit has entered the earth. Not judgment against those people, but judgment about a matter. And what be the proper discernment of the whole rewards thing. Right?
Yes.
Does that make sense? I mean, Paul even come and said it this way in Romans after he broke down the whole gospel. And he preached so hard against the Jewish idea that they were the special people of God because they had the law, that he had to come and address whether there was any value to having received the law or not. Right? He says, is there any value to the Jewish people having received the law? To them having received it? Is there any value in it now? Well, yeah, certainly. They received the oracles of God. Right? And they could have been taught of God. Does everybody understand that?
All of Paul's writings are the judgment of God.
Yeah, absolutely. All of them. God's righteous judgment of who man was. There was also a matter to be determined. Who is man? Satan had a word about who man was. He painted an image of man in the earth. It was a caricature, just like they do on Bourbon Street. He got man to eat from his system, and that began to malign man in their spirit, in their soul, and in their body. And then he painted a picture of man. And he came with a word about who man was. Hasatan, prosecuting attorney. He come and told God, man isn't yours, they're mine. This is who man is. For judgment, Jesus entered the earth. Jesus was raised from the dead, and that is the voice of God saying, this is who man is. And clearly they're mine because they're wrapped in light and life.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
You see that? For judgment, Jesus came into the earth. To determine a matter. Right? To determine the truth about a matter. It's very contentious about who man is. There was great contention. Lucifer was showing up all the time in the heavenly throne room telling God, they're not yours, they're mine. It says that he was accusing the brethren to God day and night. What was he accusing them about? They're not yours, man. They're mine. Man is mine. They're my offspring. They love me. They don't love you. For judgment, Jesus entered into the earth. David asking the age-old question, who is man? That you are mindful of them. That your mind is filled full with them. That when they're not near, you miss them. That you long to be with them. That when they're gone, you feel like something just isn't right. Look at all the beauty of creation. What is it about man that your mind can possibly be filled with us? I'm nothing but a worm. Is the voice coming out of man because of the serpent's wisdom? We were dwelling in darkness. A worm? What? Let me show you why my mind is filled full with man. Kabam! The resurrection. And as we said on the street, domino. And then we added some choice words after that to make sure all the people we beat felt the veracity of it.
If you say who you are, prove it. Right?
And the son or daughter of God would never respond to that. And in actuality, that would be the proof.
Right?
Right? Does everybody see the whole rewards thing? Listen, if you desire a big reward, you can't get a greater reward than Jesus got. God has seen fit to make you a co-sharer with Jesus in that reward. So let your mind go to rest, knowing that your reward is of Him. And that the reward you're going to have is equity with God in your whole spirit, soul, and body. And it says you're going to reign in the earth with God. You're co-reigning. It's not that He's reigning and you're trimming the bushes. You're co-reigning. Man, you ain't gonna get no better than that. I mean, it's a remarkable thing to think I've inherited all of God, the fullness of God. God is my inheritance. And you come and explain to me how you're going to inherit something more than that. And I'm all ears. Does everybody understand that dynamic?
I'll be